can see over here, we actually have one of a few MR2s which is the back of me. I don't know of much in Cape Town, and here's the owner over here. How's it? Right?
Yeah.
Mr. Marseille over here. He's brought out his beautiful MR2, which is powered by a 3S GTE.
Yes, 3S GTE.
Yeah, we've been speaking for a long time, and this bull's been coming on a while now.
Yeah, no, we had one too many problems setting us back, but we here.
Yeah, and as you guys can see over here, I don't know if you can see, actually got some new merch over here. I didn't actually have like a merch drop, as I would say.
Okay.
So I will be selling of these sweaters. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, you can hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Just send me a message. I will be posting the prices as well. But yeah, for the time being, let's enjoy this video. We'll start off with a walk around, and then we'll go for some driving. And yeah, that turbo flutters. As you can see over here, this is basically it's a very neat car, eh? The car's been fully resprayed, eh?
Yeah,
fully resprayed.
Cello works.
Yeah, so there's like a bit of a glitter in us here.
There's a gold glow in the paint.
Pick up there, we pick it up.
Picks it up nicely.
And yeah, I think the main thing about this car that we need to get into now is that motor, which is not in front. The whole time pointing to the front. But it's situated here at the back, so yeah.
Gen 3, 3S GTE, built by Floyd Performance. So this car was actually a NA car that we converted to the turbo version that you see now.
So what does it come out originally? 3S GE?
3S GE. So
but
this
not
was
dual beams, eh?
Not beams, just the beams one only came out in a Rev 5 in Japan, I think in 1998.
Yeah.
Came out with a red top. But I think from the first gen of the SW20 there was always a turbo version.
Yeah.
So this is the Gen 3 3S GTE that, like I said, built by Floyd Performance. He did all the fabrication on the car, the aluminium welding. He built the charge cooler, the intake, the exhaust, the manifold. So the manifold is built from stainless steel. He did all the wiring, every bit of fabrication that took to get the car going.
And he's quite well known in the drag racing community as well.
Yeah, of course he is, the infamous vinnige Floyd. But yeah, there's nobody else that I would ever take my car to other than Royston.
Yeah, so he basically fitted everything.
He basically fitted everything.
And with regards to the motor, is it stock or has it been work done?
There's a 2JZ piston in, there's ARPs from top to bottom. We converted the car to coil packs, so this is 1ZZ coil packs. This was originally a distributor car. There's a Gen 2 rod in there, so it's quite a thick rod, so it can actually handle quite a bit of boost.
Safe.
Yeah. And then Cometic head gasket, and I'm basically limiting myself on power with the injectors at the moment. So this was supposed to be a race car, but other plans came up, so now it's just
can't spoil the car.
A nice weekend warrior slash show car. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it.
So turbo setup.
We're actually running a GTX 35 turbo, so quite a big turbo.
It's a bit compact in there, so we can't really see too much.
Yeah, usually the guys cut out this back wall into the boot to make a little bit more space, but we wanted to keep the car whole.
And then downpipe?
Yeah, stainless steel. I think it's
right through.
Yeah, I think it's 80 mil or whatever.
And the exhaust itself?
Sure.
Where's that running? So
yeah,
it's
up
running
to the back. So
to the back.
Floyd fabricated everything. He built the exhaust. Everything that has to be built on the car, he done. So. Yeah, and then we're running a water tank in the boot. And some ice for the runs later, because the temps of the intake is quite warm, so just chuck some ice in there and then the rest is history.
And everything done on the car, it's neatly done, eh?
Yeah, no, we took our time
no
to do
shortcuts
everything on this car. We didn't take shortcuts or I would say rush. Yes, we did
Yeah.
rush because you know we wanted to get the car done, but we did take our time on most of the things.
One interesting thing that I noticed over here, this is an intake, eh?
This is an intake, yes.
So it runs
It is actually
straight
functional
to the
inside
the
of
cold
the engine
intake
bay.
inside.
Just adds
I
more
think
power.
this is an intake.
Yeah.
Does it come with a car? Is it like a
This was a
add-on?
special version that came out. I think it was called the 2000 GT.
Yeah.
Came out with this air scoop.
It's a
So
very
luckily-
unique look.
Yeah, luckily I was blessed with this when I bought the car. The previous owner actually gave me all the goodies with the car. He didn't hold anything back, so very grateful for that.
And then what's the car pushing out?
She's pushing out 193 kilowatt now
Yeah,
at
which is-
5,800 RPM, so we still need to finish the tuning.
Detuned at the moment.
Yeah, we are kind of detuned at the moment, so we'll probably end up making way over 200 kilowatt
Easily.
easily with the car. Like I said, I'm limiting myself on power with the injectors because the bigger injectors, the more power you're gonna make at the end of the day, and the engine's gonna be able to handle the boost. So yeah,
And
that was
then-
big enough also.
So suspension wise, you said coilovers, eh?
Yeah, so we're running yellow speed racing coilovers in here.
Was it very hard to get for this car, seeing that we live in SA?
Not really. In Duna Motorsports,
Okay,
they
imports.
import all the stuff. Well, not all the stuff for this car, but they import yellow speed. But I was fortunate enough to get the coilovers in the car. So that was
Okay.
a bonus, yeah.
And they're quite comfortable, eh?
Oh yes, very nice ride. Like I say, you don't compress the spring or anything like that. You literally make the whole shock shorter, so you don't
Yeah.
compensate on the ride comfort. And it's got dampening, so.
I won't disclose too much, but as we discussed earlier on, you said the car is gonna be a bit lower, or it's gonna go to the ground, so they can
yes.
they can comment there what you think.
Yeah, no, it's gonna go to the ground. My
Not
plan is to
beautiful.
put the car in air now, seeing that it's not gonna be a race car anymore.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do like the whole show thing and Sunday drive. So air suspension. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah,
with
it's
this,
gonna just sit the car.
stance vibe. I'm not a stance guy, but
But it will definitely set the car apart.
yeah, it will set the car apart and it will just finish the car.
Yeah.
I think is when it goes. So it's the air, and then the front spoiler.
Yeah.
This is still the inner spoiler. The turbo spoiler's got a bit more stance to the front
Yes,
look.
yes.
And then I'm gonna change the rear wing to an auto pista.
I know overseas they wide body these cars, eh?
They wide body
It,
them,
yeah, it looks intense, young.
but I just don't have the heart to draw
Yeah.
holes and cut my car
Cut
up
the
at the
car up.
moment. No, because to do the fender flares and stuff, you need to cut the arches on the fenders
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So.
This car is a very sexy front end, young. It's much similar to the Celica, eh? The front, but it's obviously wider.
Actually,
And
the Celica, this car is very similar to the S13.
I see now. I see
Yeah.
the shape of the
The
bumper.
shape, yeah, they got the very S13, so sometimes they get mistaken because somebody actually
Yeah.
goes, oh, what? Do you belong to the Nissan group? I'm like, no, this is not a Nissan, it's a Toyota. So,
And it looks like a Ferrari as well. If you look at
yeah,
it.
this car was actually based off one of the Ferraris. I can't tell you
Okay, I
which
didn't
one.
know that actually.
Yeah, this car was actually styled from it. They call this the poor man's Ferrari.
But yeah, it's amazing to look at. You know, it's a piece of art, literally.
This car pulls a lot of attention.
And then this is the famous, as I would say, the T-top, eh?
This is the T-top piece.
Which is found in these cars and the Supras as well.
Yeah.
Some of the Supras, not
Some
all
of
of
this,
them.
not all of the Supras. Same with the MR2, not all of them are T-tops.
Yeah.
You got the T-top and then the hard top.
Which can come off.
Which can
Basically
come off,
clip it,
yes,
but
and then-
we're not gonna do that today.
This is where the engine is. Yeah.
It must be quite fun, Sikuna, with the setup being at the back. You
The
get a
car
lot of
is
grip.
very fun. The way the weight is distributed
Yeah.
in the car and stuff. So there was a lot of reasoning behind why Toyota did what they did with the
Yeah.
spare wheel and all that stuff, just to get the weight balance on the car right. But it's very fun.
Yeah.
It feels like a go-kart.
It's the original spare wheel, eh?
That's the original spare wheel, as you can see here. On the tire, you still have the Japanese
Sure.
writing.
And this is a JDM car
This
from
is
Japan,
it, yes.
straight from Japan, not
This is,
Australian or
This is a
From-
JDM MR2
Sure.
from Japan. So you've got the US one, which is left-hand drive,
Yeah.
and then the UK one, they call the UK one the GTI.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this one is a GL Limited, straight from Japan. So you see on the inside all the writings on the sun visors, and here inside you can see it's everything all in
All in
Japanese.
Japanese. Sure. But I think it's time we can hit the road now and hear some turbo flutters and the car is currently DPU and drive and it's number 5.
Yeah, it's 5 years.
Are they capable of running like towards like 8,000 or less than that?
I think 7.5, 8
7.5.
grand. You can run them to 8.5, but I mean that's a bit cheap.
Yeah.
Running it close there. I know the beams like they're 8.5, but this was another.
Yeah, it's boosted. Depending on the turbo as well.
Yeah, look, this turbo can make the power until there. It's quite a big turbo, but I don't need that anymore. I just want a nice daily weekend warrior. Oh, I'm happy with the car as it is now. Misfiring when the crank sensor is doing whatever it's doing, but it sounds awesome.
Yes. It's natural pops and bangs.
Of course, yes. What's a turbo car without pops and bangs? But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it.
Like I said, it's very spacious, yo.
Yeah, it's for me. I mean, I'm 6 foot something, so
Even there's a lot of headroom.
there's enough headroom. Yes, I can still put a helmet on if I need to.
Basic controls the 90s cars had.
Yeah, I'm running a aftermarket oil pressure gauge and then a heat gauge with an incident we had at the back. Some wires or whatever got damaged, so the heat gauge just goes straight to red. So we opted for the aftermarket gauge just to get a bit of control over the heat and stuff like that.
Power's there.
The power's there, yeah. The
Easily.
power, it's there.
You had a few builds before this. Now, I remember the last build you had was the bubble 3S GT.
Yeah, it wasn't a 3S GT. It was
Oh, was
actually
it
a beams.
Beams, okay.
A single beam
Single
that I
beam.
turbocharged there. So that's where all the turbo crazy.
That was a handful, eh?
It was a handful, yes.
Compared to this, which is
Compared to
much
this.
more controllable.
100%. So that is why we actually opted also for the rear wheel drive platform. It's just to have a little bit
Yeah.
more control. I think we made a stupid amount of power with that car also, so that's what made it uncontrollable.
Did you run any times with that car?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Unfortunately not.
Basically, you just built the car and
Yeah.
then just drove it a bit and then.
We built the car and then I did Sultana. I think the car was making 310 kilowatts at that time. And then after that, we were planning to do a MSA, and within that span of time, we were hit with COVID. So then the car stood, and I didn't want it standing for so long, so I sold the car to a
It
friend
wasn't
of
very
mine.
practical at the time.
Of course, yes. We couldn't do anything, so
I assume it had button clutch and all the other.
yes, it had
bits.
look, that car had all the bells and whistles in it. It had a Garrett turbo, the 2200cc injectors, ARPs from top to bottom, Cometic, everything that you could think of was in that car. LSD, you name it, billet shafts, all that stuff. So yeah, the car was liquor sorted.
But that was the reason you opted for this, eh? You wanted more comfortability and.
Nah, not actually. So a lot of stuff happened within that period.
The COVID period.
The COVID period, yes. And then Yeah, that's that. But I was always a fan of the SW20, and it was always a dream of mine to own this car. So I was actually after this car for 2 years before I actually bought it. So one day I saw this car standing on the pavement, and I used to drive past this car all the time. And then one day I mustered up the courage to go speak to, I actually went to go knock on the door where the car was standing.
Okay.
And then the owner came out and I asked him, listen, I'm interested in this car, don't you want to sell it? And at the point, he didn't want to sell the car, he just told me, no, he has planned for the car to do a case swap and all this stuff. I said, no, okay, that's fine. And then I went on with my life, and then every time I drive past this car, you know, just the urge is there for me to, you know, I need this car. And a year later, after the first time I went to go speak to him, I told him, listen, this car's still standing on the exact same spot. I don't think you're going to do anything with this car, and it's time for me to take this car from you now. And then he actually agreed, so we agreed on the price, and like I said, the rest is history. So then I bought the car, sent the car away immediately for the spray work. There was a slight dent on the door, but the owner actually gave me a spare door.
And panels, everything's original.
Everything is
nothing's
original.
replaced on the car.
Yeah, nothing is replaced on the car, so everything is original.
Yeah, besides the motor that was swapped.
Yeah, besides the motor. So yeah, it's still an original to the car, but it's actually the car's original motor in here that we just turbocharged. So now it's 3S GTE. So yeah, but I had a few hiccups, but we came through it.
I noticed now I said it is the original motor. I'm saying all the time, yeah, it's a swap, it's not a swap.
No,
it's basically turbocharged.
Yeah, it was initially a 3S GTE swap.
Yeah.
But then I had problems with that 3S GTE engine, and then I scrapped that block, and then I put my car's original stuff in, and
you're getting no problems, nothing?
No problems. So yeah, I'm actually grateful for that, because now the license disc and the engine block is corresponding.
And management wise?
Here's a Dictator 60 minus 2x in here, just gives us a little bit better control over the fueling. It's semi-sequential fueling at the moment. But for what I'm going to use the car for, it's not viable for me to put in a very expensive ECU. Yeah, there's a semi button. Yes.
Still drivable.
Yeah, still drivable.
This is a very odd seating position that I am sitting in, so I'm gonna get used to it. I haven't driven a Supra, but I feel like it's much simpler. Right?
It probably would be, yes. Seating position and stuff.
The design of the dashboard, it's similar. And that's my favorite steering wheel, you know.
Yeah, that's from a E92.
I didn't expect that. Like A47.
Let's go.
Was big, so you can feel it on the bolt there, like you
yeah,
5,000.
Bolts up here in the mid-range of the ribs. Yeah. So
that's definitely a car you must get used to. The driving experience.
It's a whole different. It feels like a go-kart. I always tell everybody when they ask how does this car feel, I just say, did you ever drive a go-kart? Exactly the same feeling.
Because if you get into it, it's not the normal seating position.
It's because you're so low to the ground, man.
Yeah, it feels very weird.
Yeah.
But you're obviously used to the car, so...
I'm used to the car, yeah. It actually feels completely different in the passenger seat.
Like, I'm not even putting my foot completely down, but you feel that power, it's waiting for you to come.
Yeah.
Give it more and more. And coming there by 5.5. It's not enough, no?
No, it's all.
Yeah, but it's definitely a whole other experience.
And what's nice about the turbo sounds of those cars, because everything's right there by your ears,
Yeah,
right behind you,
yeah.
so the bells of the flutters and
Yeah.
stuff it's very nice.
I'm eager to feel this car once it's fully tuned.
Yeah. That's gonna be like when it's
Yeah.
fully tuned.
And even around the bend, it's very solid.
Very stable.
Like you said, the
Low
end
center of
is-
gravity,
yeah.
so
The center of gravity, it's very important with this car.
yeah.
Because the motor is at the back, it's sitting quite nicely. I haven't really taken it around corners, obviously, you know the car, but
Yes.
like from your experience, obviously, you can hammer it around
No, of
corners
course,
and you
yes.
can go in with confidence.
Yeah, this is like when you're in the bend, don't take your foot off.
Yeah,
Keep your foot on the accelerator until you're out of the bend.
in a trust all that weight and then it's gonna
Yeah,
kick out.
yeah. The car will try to correct itself, and then
And we have no traction control, so
what they call snap over.
still feels like a Toyota. Yeah. No, but getting used to the seating position, I understand why they made it like this. No? You feel like a race driver.
Yeah, like I always say, everybody asks me how does the car feel. I say if you drove a go-kart, you exactly know how this car feels because it's so low to the ground.
And the steering is sitting high and it's just
Yeah.
above you.
But you can actually adjust the steering if you want to. But you must not, you're driving at my steering position.
But it also makes it like a go-kart, man.
Yeah.
Sitting like that.
L5.
Isn't it limiting you? I feel like the power is just going and going.
So this is because this was an NA gearbox, the ratio is very,
Yeah.
it's a quicker ratio than what a turbo gearbox is gonna give you. So that's why you're going so quick through the gears. But I mean, for what I'm using the car for, it's I don't have a problem with it.
The coilover is a bit bouncy if you're driving it slow. It's probably how you set it up as well.
Yeah. I still need to. That's why I say after this video, I actually want to take the car off the road. I want to redo the suspension,
Yeah.
all the bushings and everything. So
Keeping it OEM spec poly mounts,
I'll do poly mounts. Yes, I'll do poly mounts. But
which I think is gonna make it a bit stiffer.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think with the air suspension that is eventually coming in, it's gonna make the drive a bit more comfortable. Yes.
I'm not turning fast in the corners. I'm not even turning at all fast, but I can feel that is a go-kart.
Look, the steering is very responsive on this car. So it's all traits of a go-kart.
That brake was loud.
Yeah, she bangs.
Braking system is also very good, eh?
Yeah, it's got disc brakes all around.
From Toyota. From
From Toyota.
Like I said, it feels much. I can't say this, but I think it probably feels a lot like a super seating position.
Probably, I also can't say, but I think the super seat is actually very similar to the seat. So I think you'll get the same feeling.
I'm hinting there for the people We need someone with a Supra.
Somebody with a Supra, please help this guy out.
Be a dream come true.
This is part one of the dream.
First gear is brutal with that bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's enough for now. Don't want to break the code. It's quite hot now, but thank you.
Sure, man.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And what makes it special, it's Toyota. So
Let's go.